Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be recycling this car tire that I got from a client. She wanted to get rid of it, but she suggested we transform it into a reusable item that she may use at home. So we suggested on making an ottoman using this car tire. If you're interested in seeing how we transformed it, keep on watching. First, I started by taking the measurement of the tire. So this car tire is size 15. So I had to take the measurement so as to know where I will put the foam which will cover the car tire all round. So by taking this measurement, it will guide me on marking the correct measurements that is needed for the foam which will cover it all round. I then transferred the measurement onto the foam that I'll be using to cover the car tire. I used a 1/4 inch foam, that's the thickness of the foam, and it's the blue foam, so it's the low density. Since it's just covering the side of the car tire, I had to use this kind of foam. Once I was done making the markings and drawing the line, I went ahead and took my pair of scissors to cut off the foam that I needed to cover the car tire all round. To glue down the foam onto the tire all round, I had to use this contact adhesive glue, which is normally found in any upholstery store near you. I got mine from the local upholstery store. I'll put the contact in the description box. So it's adhesive glue. I had to apply it first before adding the fabric onto it. For those who are in Kenya, you can get them in Gikomba markets. They are available there too. To get a better view on how I did it, that's why I had to put the car tire onto the floor. So after adding the adhesive glue, I went ahead and attached the blue foam onto the car tire. You can also use hot glue on this part, but I prefer using the contact glue because it's more durable compared to the hot glue on plastic items. And for those who are watching my videos for the first time, my name is Roxini Miz. I normally do simple home decor DIYs. If you're interested in seeing more of my videos, kindly remember to subscribe and also click on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever I post new videos. After gluing down the last foam onto the part which was left, I went ahead and secured the foam which was up. So I had to use my staple gun to pin down the foam all around the car tire. If you don't have a staple gun, you can try using a hammer and some tack pins. You can also get that at any upholstery store. So you just use a hammer and some tack pins to tack in your foam all around the car tire. On to my returning subscribers, I would love to say thank you so much guys for the love and support. Continue supporting Roxini Miz through watching my videos and also sharing them with your friends and family. Thank you so much guys for this far. Let's continue subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed so that you can get to 100k followers. Thank you. Just as I did onto the other side, I went ahead and overturned the car tire to secure the excess foam on the other side of it and then cut off the excess foam. So this is how it turned out, and after that we proceeded to the next part, which was putting the fabric onto the ottoman. I had the fabric made by my local tailor, so I had to take the measurements of the car tire to him so that he could get the exactly size or the exactly design that I needed for the covering of this ottoman. So I had to first fix the fabric all round. the ottoman before securing the excess fabric onto the car tire. Once the fabric had fitted well all around the ottoman, I went ahead and secured the excess fabric onto the car tire using my staple gun. You can also use the tack pins, as I had said earlier. If you don't have a staple gun, kindly buy the tack pins, which you can use the nail hammer to nail them onto the car tire. So I had to secure the fabric all around using the pins. Folding the fabric was a bit hectic, so I had to find a way in which I could distribute the fabric all around perfectly. So I had to make some folding onto the fabric so that it could fit in perfectly and also in a uniform manner. Once I was done, I went ahead and cut off the excess fabric all around using a pair of scissors. To cover the lower part of the ottoman, I had to use a circular plywood which fits in the center part of the car tire. So just as I did onto the car tire, I had to cover the plywood using the same fabric that I used on the ottoman. And then I had to secure the fabric all around using my staple pins. After cutting off the excess fabric, this is how the cover up turned out. So to secure this cover, I had to use some screws to make sure it holds on well onto the car tire. First, I tried using the shorter screws, and then had to use my gun or my drill gun to help me secure the screw onto this ottoman. So I added the longer screws all around so as to make sure my lower part or the lower plywood is well secured onto this car tire. For those who are interested in having this kind of transformation, you can get my number in the description box, so we can do some little bit of DIY transformation. Instead of throwing away your items, you can always transform them into reusable items. So once I added the screws, you can see the screws were showing onto the lower side, so I had to find a way to cover up so as to prevent one from getting hurt with the screws. Just as I did on the lower part, I also secured the excess fabric and then secured it using the pins onto the lower part. So to cover the inner part of the car tire to prevent one from getting hurt from the screws, I had to use this piece of cardboard. So I had to cover it with the same fabric all around. I had to use hot glue onto this part since the cardboard was it's slimmer compared to the plywood, so I couldn't use the staple pins to secure it. After securing the fabric with glue, so this is how it turned out. So I had to use it to cover the inner part. To make it flexible to carve inside the car tire, I had to fold it all around so as to make it easy to bend inside the ottoman. After fixing it, I had to secure it all around using the staple gun. On to the next part was making the sitting area of the ottoman. So I had to use a high density foam on this part. So I had to draw the lines, not the lines but the circle shape of the plywood onto the foam, and then took my pair of scissors to cut off the circles that I needed to make the sitting area of the ottoman. To secure the foam onto the plywood, I had to use the contact glue just as I used it on the car tire. So I had to add enough amount of this adhesive glue all around before adding the foam onto it. To use two types of foam on this part, so the high density one and the low density one. To give it a slopey shape onto the sides, I had to cut off the edges or the sharp edges of the second foam on the upper part so as to give it a bending shape on the edges. Once I was done, I went ahead to cover the sitting part of the ottoman using the same fabric as I used onto the ottoman or the car tire all round. So to secure the fabric, just as I did onto the others, I used my staple pin to secure the fabric all round. All to my loyal fans, I'd love to say thank you so much, and those who have been watching my videos all through and haven't subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe on my channel, and also click on that notification bell so as to get notified whenever I post a new DIY video. After cutting off the excess fabric, this is how the sitting part turned out. As you can see, it has a slopey shape on the side. So I did the same thing onto the back of it. I covered it using the fabric, and to support the fabric on the back part, I had to use the staple pin so as to secure it all around. You can also use hot glue on these parts, but it takes a lot of time to secure the fabric all around. Once I was done, this is how our ottoman turned out. You can see it has a storage on the middle part, and also the sitting area turns out perfectly and also fits in perfectly on that part. I then proceeded to the last part, which was adding the legs onto our ottoman. I had to use these beautiful gold legs that I got from a local shop. I'll put the contact in the description box for those who are interested with similar legs. To secure the legs underneath our ottoman, I had to use the screws to support the legs perfectly onto this ottoman. After placing the legs onto the correct place that I needed, I went ahead and added the screws. So this is just a raw video of what normally happens behind adding the screws onto my DIYs. So I had to struggle to make sure the screws get in, just to share the struggles that I go through while adding the screws onto a service. And finally the screw had to go in, and went ahead and added the other screws all around. And after adding the legs all around, this is how our simple and beautiful ottoman turned out. One thing, it has a storage, so you can use it to store your items, and also you can use it as a chair. And also, if you turn the sitting area into the other flat side, you can use it as a coffee table. I just love how it has turned out. It's simple and elegant. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this simple transformation that you've just made using a car tire. For those who are interested in such, just as I said earlier, I'll put my number in the contacts or in the description box so that you can easily contact me if you're interested in having a similar ottoman. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please if you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe onto my YouTube channel, and also click on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much guys for your love and support. Continue supporting Roxinimes by sharing my videos with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye, see you next time for a new DIY.